Good morning and God bless you. Today is January 5th, 2024, and we will be going over Proverbs chapter 5. And the title would be To Avoid Adultery. And so, what we had learned beforehand is that wisdom is the ability to make good choices in life, to have that ability to know what is before you and how you would respond to that situation. And now we're on a touchy subject. We're on a subject where one person may be brought into a situation, and how are they going to respond, and what is the right course of action to take. And I think that we all know what the right course of action to take in that situation, but many people fall into that part in life where something may not be going right in the marriage, or something may be holding on, and then the attention of somebody else is coming along, and a person is persuaded or tempted to go and make a move in another direction. And here is the wisdom being set before you. What are you going to do in this situation? What is the right thing to do in this situation? And so here we have the writer Solomon, who is giving his take on that. So I'm going to go ahead and start with verse 1 of chapter 5, Avoid Adultery. So, my son, attend to my wisdom, and bow thine ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life. Her ways are movable, thou canst not know them. Hear now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house. Lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger. And thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed, and say, How have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. So I'm going to stop right here on 14, from verse 1 through 14. So here he is saying to attend to my wisdom, to attend to my counsel. Don't go after a strange woman. Don't go after this person that is very appealing or seductress, that's easily attracted, and don't be easily lured into that response. It says, for the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. So she gives the appearance that, wow, she's very attractive, wow, she has all this, but it's going to sting you in the end. It says her end is bitter as wormwood, sharper than a two-edged sword, and she's taking you away from all that you love, all that you might not even realize, because you're not pondering the paths of life. You're looking at this situation, but you're not deeply regarding how much it's going to strip from you, what it's going to take from you. It says, Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life. Her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Okay. And it says, don't go near her house. Take your foot away. Don't step in the way. Don't do that. And then going into verse 9, it says, Lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years into the cruel, lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger. So here it seems like this is going to be a situation that is going to really mess up your life. Here you see this woman, vice versa, woman sees a man. Here you see this woman, and she has all of this stuff that's drawing you to her. Maybe I should do this. Hey, maybe this, and you're not looking at what you have, your family, your children, your life, your job, your career, your name, who you are as a person, in good standing with everyone in your family, how you're presented as a person. Here you're not looking at that. You're looking in the moment. And it says, do not go that way. Don't be lured into that deception. Don't follow that path, because she's taken a lot of people with her. There's been a lot of people that have fallen and ruined their lives for this, lost their children, broken up their marriages, split up their houses, lost a lot of things. So going into verse 9, it says, "Least thou give thine honor unto others in thy years unto the cruel, lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger." Why would you want to go and do this and mess up your life? Why would you want, if you're promised to someone, if you're promised to a wife, and you gave your oath that for better, for worse, for sickness and health, for richer, for poor, till death do us part, if you really honor everything that you say, you're going to hold on and cherish that. And you should hold on to that. You should consider that. You should regard that. And it's saying, why would you try to mess that up? Why would you let that? It says this, "Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger." That this could mess up your relationship with your loved one, with your spouse. And here now, because you went and this moment of flesh, this moment that you acted on with somebody else, and by doing that betrayal in the other person's eyes, it's messed up your relationship with them. Now that person goes on looking for another suitor, looking for somebody that wouldn't do them that way, and now this person goes into a relationship with someone else. Now this person possibly even marries someone else. And then it goes to say those things that you had, your house, your life, now somebody else is involved in that. So when you're looking at verse 10, it says, "Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger." So I see that as, you had something really good, and you saw something there, and you let that take you away. And he's warning you not to go in that direction, because he's telling you this is what could happen by that. In the end, you're going to say in verse 12, and say, "How have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof? I should have known better, and I didn't listen. I should have known better, and I didn't do it that way." And now, I'm a proverb, I'm a parable, I'm a story. Let me warn somebody else not to go through what I've gone through. So here is Solomon telling you beforehand, so that you don't go and mess up your name or mess up your life, or just kind of go in that path. So going into verse 15, "Drink waters out of thy own cistern, and running waters out of thy own well. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the streets. Let them be thine own, and not strangers with thee. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with a strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? For the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord, and he pondereth all his goings. His own iniquities shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sins. He shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. So going back up to verse 15, drink waters out of thy own cistern, and running waters out of thy own well. So he's referencing, I'm going to go with highlighting that word waters for a second, because he's referencing a person in there, and a cistern is something that's containing a body of water. So he's saying, drink waters out of thy own cistern. Take the wife you have. You have somebody there. You know, don't disregard what you already have. You know, cherish what you have. Cherish the wife that you've made your oath to. This is someone that is yours. Drink waters out of your own cistern. Don't go getting it from somebody else's well. Don't go chasing it through another direction. Okay. But I like that word, because that's actually kind of a key word. If you look in Revelation, later on, the last book of the Bible, Revelation, they're referring to a harlot that sits on many waters, and then he goes and describes what they are. The harlot that you saw on many waters are languages, nations, and tongues. People's languages, nations, and tongues. So it's groups of people. So here he's using waters, but it's referring to a person. You know, it's referring to the spouse is what it is here. You know, drink from your own wife's, you know, sister, to do what you already have there. And running waters out of thy own well. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of waters in the street. Let them be thine own, and not strangers with thee. Okay. It says, let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. So it's telling you, and it's telling you to cherish who you have. You've made the decision that you are going to be a husband and wife with this person. This is the person that you're involved with. You know, you have somebody. Don't throw that away. Don't go in a moment and say, I'm going to go and do this, and see everything that it takes away from you. You know, you have someone of value there that you've made a commitment to, and in their eyes, you are going to be faithful to that person. And it's telling you to do so. You have someone there, someone who loves you, someone who is there for you, you know. And it's a sting, you know, to go against someone that you love, you know. Now they can't look at you the same way. They don't trust you anymore. It's ruined your name, in a sense. You may have family members that respect you and think you're a good father, and then all of a sudden they hear that something like this happened, and it's a shock to them, you know, because they wouldn't have expected it from you. You know, you're more of a person that should have known better, and here it is giving you all the warnings not to. It's saying, look what you have beforehand. Don't go in this direction. Don't mess that up, you know. And there are many women, there are many men, you know, that have taken the distraction of that person away. They've gone in that direction and fooled around. They've gone in that direction and messed that up. In the heat of the moment, they went and did something, and like a knife in the person's back that you loved, you know, it's that bit of betrayal. They can't look at you the same way. They can't think to do things with you the same way. And many people have fallen down and have lost a lot. Have lost, like I said, homes, family members, you know, children haven't, you know, looked at their parents the same way. You know, here they had mom and dad that they knew, and now dad did this or mom did this, and they can't look at you the same way because, you know, I thought you loved her. You know, I thought you would do this. And it messes up especially the older children, it messes them up where they don't have that. A lot of them might not have that respect for you later on in life. So it can really ruin the lives, and it affects more people than you realize. So it goes on to say, treat the wife that you love, and it goes on to say, like a pleasant roe, a loving hind. You're looking like a deer, someone that you love dearly. It says, let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be not thou ravished. It says, and be thou ravished always with her love. You have someone there that you've committed your life with, that you made the promise to be with. Know who you have, and give her all the value that she deserves. And understand what's before you go and make a decision that you're going to do something. Understand that it affects more than just one person. It affects the lives of your immediate family, and possibly even those outside. It can really mess up your name. People have lost a lot through divorces, split up homes, family, finances, even the children. So consider that, the value of that. There are many people that have gone through that, especially in the time and day that we live in now. People are marrying and giving into marriage. We have a lot of remarrying and a lot of divorces and so on. And there are a lot of people that have gone through those situations where they had stood before the altar and admitted in the moment that they were going to do all of these things, and they couldn't uphold it. And it's messed up their lives, And so in all you're doing, if you commit your way to one person, stick it out as much as you are able to do so. That's what is the desire of God there. I don't think that he desires divorce. I believe that God looks at it as a way of, if we are the church and we are the bride of Christ, he doesn't desire for us to be separated from him for all eternity. So in the eyes of God, looking at it, divorce is something that he does not desire, does not wish, does not will. He would much rather, I believe that God would much rather, if we put our promise to that person, to be joined together to that person, that is what he desires for us to do, to bless that in all ways, and to hold on to it, because he may see it also as us and him in many ways. So I'm just going to let you take that with you and hold on to that, and consider that. There are a lot of people that have gone through divorces. There are a lot of people that have gone through situations where they may have committed adultery, and it's messed up a lot of lives. And there are a lot of people that can give you their input on that. And here Solomon is telling you beforehand to be wise, right? To have that ability to make good life choices, because you know that it's going to affect you or even hurt you in the long run as well. And there are many people that hold on to that and really ponder that and yearn to fix something, and it's already to a point where you can't. And even those can be chastening too. It says don't don't be upset with the chastening of the Lord. Who the Lord loves, he corrects. Someone may go through a situation like that and think, man, I messed up, man, and try everything to get it back, and they can't, and it may be even that wisdom that you had to learn, even this, the value of what you have, and then God may you may be blessed later on. There's a thing where it's not in the Bible, but I've seen it over time, where they say time heals all wounds. That was a sticking point, but you've grown You've grown through that. You were able to get through that. Even though there are people that have lost it and lost much of it over time, they were able to be a more mature character in themselves because they realized that through these life lessons. But I pray that you don't have to go through a life lesson that affects you in that way, but that you know beforehand what you're doing and how you're growing and how you're, who you're affecting in life. So I'm going to go ahead and close. Tomorrow, Lord willing, we'll continue with chapter 6. God bless you again, and thank you for always following along. And if I'm not here to read it, you can always pick up your Bible. You can follow along and go through the Proverbs as well. So God bless you in Jesus' mighty name. Have a good day.